Well, good afternoon, everybody. We'll get rolling here. And many of you know me. My name's Ted Danner. I've been in the business about 25 years, 10 years with Nissan North America, and then another division of Nissan, 11 years doing warranty, our first one doing warranty, OEM warranty, and doing vehicle service contracts from the claims and operations and sales and that whole piece of it, and live in Nashville, Tennessee. So it's great to be here. And you guys ask questions as we go. If you could type them in, we'll grab those as we go, and we'll save a little time at the end to handle questions as well. Thank you very much for that. And as we get started here, the agenda is we'll run through specifically Cars Protection Plus, their case study. Lance will take us through a lot of that. We'll discuss and show what warranty AI decision intelligence looks like and what's actually deployed out there. Again, not a science project, but what's deployed out there. We've got specific use case demos we'll go through and show you. And of course, moderator Q&A, as you guys have questions, I'd love to hear those as we go. And we'll pepper those in throughout wherever possible, and certainly at the end. Lance, we are glad to have you aboard here. And to introduce Lance, again, he's president and CEO of Cars Protection Plus. He's got over 2 decades of experience in this industry, tons of that automotive experience. And previous to Cars, he was president at Century Automotive Service Corporation before joining Cars. And then 8 years at Productive Life in progressive vice president roles in business development, international sales, and dealer initiatives. We could have a separate meeting on all your interesting experiences abroad and in China, Lance, but we'll save that for another time, perhaps. And he's built and scaled international markets from the ground up, including negotiating partnerships, establishing local infrastructure, and leading cross-cultural teams. And I thought, Lance, I'd turn this over to you, and you can run through a few bits of the information on Cars Protection Plus if you'd like.
Happy to. And Ted, you can go ahead and you can put all those bullet points up there. I'm not going to speak directly to those. What I want to give is a little bit of the Cars story, because it will help essentially shed some light on the how and the why Cars has decided to partner up with Circuitry AI to improve our claim platform. You know, Cars has been around since 1998, so we've got a tremendous amount of experience in vehicle service contracts. Historically, our niche in the marketplace was serving small to medium-sized independent dealers through our own direct sales team, and we were very successful in that niche for a lot of years. A handful of years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, we were acquired by Spectrum Automotive Holdings, and we were really challenged with doing business a little bit different than we had in the past. You know, independent dealers, when they look for a partner with vehicle service contracts, they're really looking to answer 2 questions that their customers come to them with. That first question is, do you have the kind of vehicle that I want? And the second question is it going to have problems? Well, our product directly addressed the second question as far as helping them if they did have a future problem. And then it was up to the dealer, help the customer find a vehicle. And that niche served us very well. When we were acquired by Spectrum, Spectrum's focus was really much more on the franchise side of the world. So in probably a period of about 4 years, Cars went from serving probably 5,000 independent dealers and maybe 50 franchise dealers to serving, again, the same number, about 5,000 independent dealers, but over 1,000 franchise dealers. So that dramatically challenged the Cars leadership team to evolve very, very rapidly and to understand how to do the business differently. And we paddled really, really hard to build out processes, systems that fit both spaces. And the reality is it meant that we added a lot of people. We had multiple different processes because a franchise dealer has different expectations at claims does than the independent dealer. We built multiple products because the franchise dealer doesn't want to sell that same product that just helps deliver the used vehicle over the curb. So we ended up with a very complex, very rapidly growing business. So, and then I'll go into some of the utilization on the next one, but just high level, we are over 200 employees. We are nationwide. We serve all 50 states. We manage thousands of dealers. We have about 24,000 dealers with an active dealer agreement. Some dealers sign up, they never sell. Some dealers sell only at tax season, and other dealers sell a lot of product every single month. So 25 plus years. That million vehicle service contract, that is actually since we went on to our current administration platform, which is PCMI. Since day one, we've sold close to 2.5 million contracts. And our mission has really been clear, and it's about providing affordable protection to customers that will help offset the cost of those repairs. Used vehicles, they are not new vehicles, right? They are sold generally with problems. We have to make sure that we have coverage that's going to help take care of that customer for the inevitable claim. So our challenges really multiplied.
Nein, ich kann nicht kommen, Fritzi.
Okay, our CAR's challenges really kind of multiplied over the years. We always had a call center for our claims team. If we go back prior to becoming part of Spectrum, we had probably about 14 or 15 adjusters. They would take the inbound claim call. They'd put everything into our admin platform, and then we would do all of the fact finding to determine do they have coverage, what's the cause of failure, the extent of damage, and then what's the reimbursement on the claim. Pretty straightforward. We had one product, so it was relatively simple. Over the years, we diversified our product. We now have 4 product families, really all built for different channels. One specific to franchise dealers. We still have our legacy product, but it makes that claim intake much more challenging, because now instead of focusing on knowing what that coverage is, our adjusters have to make sure that they check the contract, because they can be different. And besides just having the 4 different products, now that we have all of our lender approvals through the captive lenders and others that require authorization, we could have many different versions of the same form with little differences in the coverages. So it really became challenging for our adjusters to really know what they were adjudicating. It required that they had to open up the contract, look at the contract, and make sure that they were adjudicating to the right terms. And it really extended the amount of time that it was taking us to manage claims. Whenever we have different terms in multiple contracts, it would lead to inconsistent claim handling. Franchise dealers, a lot of them wanted essentially bespoke rules on how claims are adjudicated. So we accommodated that through notes that we would put into our platform, expecting the adjuster to read the notes. Now the adjuster has to read the note, read the contract, and make sure to try and get the adjudication correct. And to their credit, our adjusters really did a phenomenal job. But anytime that there's humans involved, there's going to be error. We also, our growth was, if I had to pick a word for it, I would say explosive. High double digit year after year after year for cars after we were acquired by Spectrum. So it was very much a challenge for us to keep up with staffing on the claim side. Finding good people, bringing them on board, training them, particularly when we had multiple products, proved to be a big challenge for us. And then just the continual warranty product expansion. As we go out and sign up dealers, there's always going to be the inevitable, well, I love the program, but can it do this? So we end up with one-offs that further will complicate what we're trying to do. So when we went out and when we first started looking at technology solutions, Circuitry AI wasn't the first company that we spoke with. So we had talked with other AI companies along the way. And what we were looking for was clear to us. We needed somebody to help us eliminate human error. We needed somebody that could help us speed up the process. And we needed something that was really going to help us manage the incredible scaling of our business. And, we selected Circuitry AI ultimately because they really fit everything that we were doing right now, but they also offered the best pathway for what we wanted to do in the future. So some outcomes, we started going down this path with Circuitry January of this year. I would say that our implementation process has gone very, very well. I've dealt with a lot of technology companies in the past as president of multiple administration companies. What I will tell you is that I've never worked with any technology company that actually achieved the timelines that they set out to do. Circuitry AI achieved the timelines. Our key pieces that we have already launched, one of our most important ones is the warranty agent that essentially ingests all of our different contracts, all of our different rules, our pop-up notes, and it allows our customer service team, our claim adjusters, our billing team to be able to query, just like ChatGPT or any other AI model. It allows them to query specifically on a contract number to find out exactly what coverage does the customer have. Is the claim eligible for repair? And it really is a way to get the correct information very, very timely out to the customer. The compliance, obviously, compliance is number one at all administrators. Our ability to adjudicate claims consistent with the terms of the contract is critical. When we had many contracts, many different terms and conditions, it's possible that we would have errors, and we would certainly from time to time be called out by regulators on those errors. There's no question that with just the warranty agent, even before we get to all of the other great tools that it can provide, it's made us better at making sure that we get the right answer to a question the first time. The flexibility, I'm just really impressed with some of the things that we've challenged circuitry to create for us. One of them was we needed the ability to provide essentially a real-time confirmation on what had been authorized on a claim. Historically, that had been a one-off. We would only do that upon request. It took a claim adjuster time to build that out, put it in an email, and send it over to the shop. We worked with circuitry, and it probably was maybe a 3-week process to build, prototype, test, and then roll that into production. So it was done very, very fast, far faster than we could have done it by working through our administrative system. And that is in production today. So we're really happy with that. And then I want to talk just a little bit about the proof of value, because to me, there's really kind of two things that we look at when I think about value on the program. And the first thing is, what is the experience that we're providing to our customers? And we've already seen significant improvement in meeting our KPIs, making sure that we can comply with our service level that we provide out to our shops, but also just making sure that we're providing those timely answers to questions, not only to shops, but also to customers. So that value proposition and the customer experience has improved significantly through circuitry AI. The other piece of it, the proof of value is, return on investment. How are we going to make sure that we make back more than what we spend on the solution? And if we can make back more than we spend on the solution, then all of the other value that I talked about is really essentially free. And for us, the return on investment, our goal was pretty simple. We wanted to improve our total spend on claims by a 2 to 3% reduction this year. And I think that we are well on our way to getting there. That is a relatively small amount, but when you're talking about tens and tens of millions of dollars, it becomes a sizable amount of money to be able to reduce our claims costs. So we are certainly going to get there this year. And with that, I'm going to toss it over to either Ted or Josh.
Yeah, and before we move on, Lance, I had a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So how was it for the team as far as change management? You know how it goes. Hey, it's a new this or it's a new that. Some people love it, some people hate it. How has this gone in this case?
I'm sure everybody on this meeting has gone through some technology change in the past. Sometimes they go well, but more often than not, it's mixed expectations. It's grumbling by the team. And then hopefully, after a protracted period of time, you get to a steady state. What I can tell you as far as change management, the number one thing that we did out of necessity is that our claims leadership was really a partner in the selection and the implementation of circuitry AI. They were involved from day one to make sure that it wasn't just the CFO and myself choosing on a model based upon the right economics. So having the leadership involved was critical. But what we learned is that our adjusters were already out there using some off-the-shelf AI tools such as ChatGPT or Grok or other tools to start and help them with their job. Well, what we've been able to do through Circuitry AI is provide to them and roll out a model where the AI tools have actually learned on all of our products, where it's learned on all of the notes that we've attached to the dealers, where it understands the shops. So now we give them what they were already seeking, but we give it to them with all the right information already baked into it. Our team, I can say, is very excited about this platform.
Excellent. Thanks for the word there, Lance.
Sure.
All right. Josh is going to lead us here in a moment. He's got 20 years of experience and expertise in sales and support, with a track record delivering SaaS solutions for complex mission critical industries. Previously, he was VP of Consulting Excellence at Synchron, delivering warranty solutions for Cummins, Packard, Nintendo, and Kohler. How's that for a spread of industries? 13 years at LaCoe Corporation in engineering, product ownership, project leadership, and in global after sales, and delivered solutions for Mize, which acquired by Synchron, across automotive, agriculture, and consumer electronics. Josh, it's great to have you here. Would you like to take us through a few slides, please?
Thanks, Ted. Yeah, I appreciate that. When we look at our decision intelligence platform, one of the key objectives, right, if I look at the slide, is really we're looking to improve accuracy, and we'll talk about how we do that in just a moment when we get into the demos. But I think Lance mentioned a lot of that is just that ability to ingest all that information, understand it, and to be able to answer those questions accurately. That becomes the most important thing. And then once you can answer those questions, automation is now available, because we can move from a warranty advisor that can answer any question about any policy, any loss code, or in the OEM world, any causal part. Is this covered by OEM warranty or not? Those kind of things can be then automated, and all of that drives the lower costs. The important takeaway is we're seeing that in 90 days. And if you go to the next slide, I thought it would be fun just to add the project plan that we've been tracking against. If you go to the next slide there, Ted, the project plan that we've been tracking against since January. So this was the first phase for cars. It's nice of Lance to allow us to share this, but one of the things we did is, as we go through here, setting up the integrations, ingesting all of that knowledge, and it's not just contracts. It's also notes. It's also all of this information that we ingested, and then to be able to stand up a very qualified warranty advisor that can answer any question, and then we get into generating claim scoring. Right, and then all the automations that we drive from that, and I'll show you some examples of that in just a moment. And then we're already into phase 2, and we'll be talking in the next couple weeks about phase 3, because once we learn from this, there's always additional service journeys or warranty journeys that we can go on together. So if you go to the next slide. What does it take to do this? And I think Lance already touched on some of this, right? The warranty and the contracts. Claim history is great, because if we can train on some of your historical claims, I realize for some of you on the call with us today, you don't have a lot there in the area of historical claims, but that's okay. As we grow that pool of historical claims, it allows us to do predictive logic, and we can start looking at what should that claim have cost. Service records, we can use those if they're available. Inspection reports is the next big step for us. Is that did the inspector, when they were sent or dispatched, were they able to find the root cause that's described on the claim? Did they prove it? And then, of course, the warranty systems. That integration with the warranty system allows us to leverage a lot of those automations. Our core objective is, once we get to a warranty advisor that's knowledgeable and we're doing that claim score and automation and adjustments and payments, we want to get to that 97% accuracy on our decisions. Okay, it's a tipping point for us. What does it drive? We talked about cost reductions. We talked about optimizations. We look at this 35% improved productivity. I don't have to go to 5 different systems now. I don't have to go out to NHTSA and look for recalls. I don't have to go to Google and look up an aftermarket part. I don't have to go to our part system to determine what those parts are. We're pulling all of that in through integration, so you get that 35% improved productivity. On the service outcomes, right? If we're accurate in, in scoring and adjusting claims, of course, that accuracy carries through the system. And of course, on the operational side, we're going to show you some numbers in a few slides here that just talk about, what kind of benefit is this to your supporting staff? Not only for the costs and overtime, but also for onboarding. A brand new adjuster that has access to our warranty advisor has all of that knowledge available to them, right? So they can learn from the advisor. You go to the next slide. I won't talk through all of this. I'd rather show these in some examples than talking through all of it. But let's just go through the top line. If we talk about, being experts in this domain-specific area, so we've trained the models. We have all of the warranty knowledge, right? Trained in your private model. And then we have the integrations to the systems that your teams are using to pull in some ancillary data. Now we can lay on top of that information, we can lay these automations on top of it. And that really builds this warranty decision intelligence platform that we're going to show you. So if you go to the next slide, and this is applicable for, OEMs executing, their warranty claims, as well as, TPAs and vehicle service contract partners. If you think about the warranty life cycle as kind of this funnel, right? We take the claim. The next step is we score it, right? And the idea is that when we score it, what we're doing is just bringing the insights. Is there anything in here that's out of the norms? Is there anything in here that if I'm an adjuster and I'm working fast through this claim, something I could have missed? Maybe there was a technical service bulletin. Maybe this was still qualified under OEM warranty, or if I am the OEM, maybe there's some condition in here that qualifies or disqualifies it. So with the score, we're just trying to bring those insights and put those in front of your adjustment team. And then the next step is, okay, so if we can move it forward, so the next step is, once we understand the claim score and all the inputs on that claim, then we can adjust it per your warranty contract or per your warranty policies. And we can perform that adjustment. And sometimes that's quite high. It's pushing 40% there sometimes on those automated adjustments. And then from there, we can go to invoice matching. So in the case of a TPA or a vehicle service contract, I want to see the final invoice. And I want to compare the final invoice to what that claim was. And if we get a match, great, then we can move that on to the payment agent. But if there's a discrepancy in the invoice versus the claim, right? Maybe a repair wasn't performed. Maybe there was a customer decision that was thrown in there at the last moment. But if there's a mismatch, whenever we exit this funnel on the left, there are gates and there are weights that build all of these agents. And if we trip a gate, it goes off to human review, because the idea is that we want to adjudicate quickly. We want to process quickly all of the claims within the norms for our good performing service partners, our dealerships, our stores that are behaving correctly, that have submitted the claim correctly. All the attachments are available. We can process this end to end without human intervention. If there is an anomaly, then we step out the left-hand side. A human processes that, much lower volumes than they would have to process before our decision intelligence layer was laid on top of it. And then we move to the next step. And the idea is that every one of these steps in this funnel has an opportunity to be automated. Okay.
Hey, Josh, let me add just a little bit to that, because this is really, I think, a key point for CAR's utilization of circuitry is that we can essentially jump in or out at any step along the way. The other systems that we look at, the claim intake, for example, was rigid. If you wanted to go into the claim scoring model, it had to be ingested electronically. Well, we work with thousands of repair facilities. A lot of those repair facilities, they don't want to go, over to a website and drop a repair order into it, or they don't want to go and fill out an electronic form. They just want to get on the phone and talk with somebody. And one of the really powerful aspects of circuitry is it really allows us to take this funnel and customize how we use it. And it can be different for any call that comes in. So we can have a call come in over the phone from a shop, answer it just like we do today, and have the adjuster enter all the information that's provided by the shop into the claim intake. And then it goes into the scoring agent. And now we're back on that electronic path. Or we can start, if we've got a franchise dealer that that wants to just send us the RO electronically, ingest it into the platform, create the claim off of the AI interpretation of that repair order, we can do that as well. So now the repair facility has a choice in how they interact with us and how electronic they want to be.
Yeah, thanks, Lance.
Excellent
That's an
point.
excellent point. And to what he said, you can jump in at any part of this life cycle, right? And we had some customers that said, "Hey, we want to focus on adjudication first." And really, what we took to production in that that first 45 to 90 days is, "Hey, let's do this invoice matcher and payment agent, because here we have a huge opportunity. Maybe we have 7 or 8 admins, and all they're doing all day long is looking at those final invoices and then comparing them to the claim. There was some mistakes along the way. And the idea is that if we can do that accurately and efficiently and do that in a completely autonomous way, then those resources can then be redeployed and look at other areas of this claim lifecycle." So that's an excellent point, Lance. Any point in this funnel, we have agents to help with. That's fine, Ted. We can go forward. I want to be cautious on time or conscience. I want to pay attention to the time too.
That too.
No, I'm so sorry. Talking all day. So let's look at what is kind of in scope for the Cars Protection Plus autonomous warranty journey. And these are some of the things that we're going to look at today. Some of this is in flight. Some of this was released in phase 1. Some of this you're going to see today as part of phase 2. But the idea is that from intelligent claim filing to claim validation, we'll look at some claim adjudication, and we get into claim resolution. Claim resolution is really that invoice matcher, payments, and then you'll see in here we have analysts along the way. Our objective when we started circuitry.ai is to ensure that AI is never treated like a black box. That if an agent is making a decision, all aspects of that decision, all of the reference material that went into that decision is available to you. And that's really where these analysts come in, is that if we've performed a claim score, we're going to show you in probably more detail than you ever cared to know exactly why our cost prediction came out the way it did. We're going to show you all of the reference claims that we found that were cohorts to the current claim that you're adjusting. We're going to show you why the cost of this claim is predicted to be, ABC versus XYZ. So a lot of opportunities in this warranty journey. And like Lance mentioned, your journey will look different than the car's journey, obviously. Where we start, where we go, what the different steps are, is all configurable. The important thing, right, is that there are nearly 100 different analysts, advisors, and agents that are ready to be deployed to solve these kind of challenges. Okay? Anything
And
else
with
on that, Ted? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and with that, Josh, is this a warranty management system, or is this an admin system, or what? How does this work?
Good question. We are not an admin system, nor will we be. All right. The idea is that because we are a warranty decision intelligence system, we operate on top of those admin systems. So the main benefit to our customers is you don't have to change your warranty system. If you have process gaps, if you have things in your warranty admin system that you wish were better, or you wish were more performant, or you wish, like Lance said before, you had a robust notification engine that could just send out authorization emails, we likely have an agent or an advisor that will solve that for you.
Hey, Ted.
So, sorry.
Let me throw just a little bit more on that, because I think one of the really interesting parts to this question is a lot of people do look at this, I think, as well, what do you still need your admin platform for, because this has so many capabilities. But the reality for cars is we're using more of our administration platform because of circuitry. It actually makes it easier for our adjusters to use some of the integrations that are already available on the administrative system that maybe they weren't working before, because we're trying to do calls faster and it takes so long. But this system can help make sure that we're using things like, parts integration more effectively. Any sorts of, we're doing, I would say that we're doing better on how we handle inspection reports, how we're using integration from things like JD Power. So it can actually enable the better utilization of your administration platform, because it helps the adjuster.
Great point. Thank you for that, Lance.
actually more time in the system. So we'll get into the demos here real quick. And what I'm showing is an intelligent claim intake agent. So as Lance said, if there's an opportunity, what the service center, what the store can do is simply attach, upload an RO, and we'll build that claim for them. The idea is that there are some things they have to fill out. Is the vehicle on site? How would they like to be paid in this case? So as we go through this, you can see that we read the cause corrective action from that RO. We read in all of the labor line items, all of the part line items. So really, once they upload it, right, they have to check it, verify it. We're going to give them an immediate score there if they have an entitlement for that, and then they can proceed to submit that, and that goes directly into the warranty admin system. Okay. We'll go to the next one. This is the warranty advisor that I was talking about before. But the idea is that first we build the intelligence into the system, and that is by ingesting all of the contracts. We can pull back any specific information about it. You can ask for claim status. You can create a claim with this warranty advisor. But the idea is that it has all of the intelligence of all of either the warranty policies, if you're an OEM customer, if you're a TPA or a vehicle service contract customer, this has all of your contracts loaded. And you can ask very specific information. Is this part covered? All right, or is it entitled for coverage? All of that information is available here. Okay, and we actually use this advisor. Some of the, Lance had mentioned at the beginning of the conversation that there's a lot you can do with Claude and ChatGPT today. You could probably load all your contracts to it. But the idea is that because this is part of our agentic workflow, that journey that we were talking about, we're actually calling back into that advisor during the claim scoring process. So what we're showing here is a claim score. And when we get to the 3C analysis, right, we can leverage that warranty advisor that knows everything about your contracts to say, or your OEM policy, is that you can go into here and say, okay, are the 3Cs covered? What should be the causal part? What's the loss code? You just saw it scrolled by fairly quickly there, but we also have all of the integrations. So if you're using third-party cost providers for parts or for labor, we'll talk a little bit about like AllData, Forte. We have integrations to C&K, Teal, really any company that you're working with today. And if you think about the optimization here, historically, before a tool like this, in order to get this information, you'd have to step out of your admin system, go into one of these applications, go to the portal, put in the loss code or the causal part, and say, hey, how much is replacement? Are there any ancillary parts on the claim? And then pull that information back in to check the claim. Now that's all done for you automatically. And our objective is that these claims are scored before the adjuster sees them. I'm sorry, Lance, I spoke over you. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Sorry, when I get rolling, I go. All right. So anyway, the idea is that you get in one single pane of glass everything about that claim that we can pull forward. So if you look at cost prediction, right, this is one of those examples I was talking to you about. And one of the opportunities is if we can train on your historical claims, right, paid claims, authorized claims, the idea is that we can bring forward a cohort of, if I look across what's been approved, this is not an average. We're looking at those cohort of claims that you've authorized historically and saying, okay, I see what parts, what labor line items were used on that claim. And then we can use current costs, right, across all of those line items and say, this is what we would predict. And this gives us a very good prediction as to what has been submitted in today's claim versus what would the model have predicted this to cost. Okay. This is the authorization email, and we're sending somewhere between 300 and 400 of these a day. But the idea is once that claim gets authorized, we have all the information available in the model already that we can prepare this and send this out. It's more intelligent than just an average email notification, though, because you'll notice at the bottom of this, I think the video might scroll back down, but if not, there's a little statement at the bottom that says, in order for this claim to be processed, what do you need to do? You need to provide that final invoice, right? You're going to respond to this email with that invoice, right? We can pick up that invoice and run that through our invoice scanner, attach it to the claim in the admin system, and move this claim on to the next step. So there's lots of automations here beyond just, can I build a system that sends an email? Yes. Does the email system have the intelligence that when the service provider says, yeah, we've got that repair complete, here's the final invoice, and just do it via email? It's those kind of use cases that we're interested in, is where can we take all that manual work? Okay, I got an email. I got 400 emails in my inbox today. What do I need to do? I need to open each one, grab the invoice, and move it. So when we talk about our approach to decision intelligence, what we're looking at is where are your team members spending the most amount of time doing work that is an exceptional use for AI. This was one of them, right? Now we're notifying everyone as that claim gets authorized, and we can also do some automation when that response comes back in. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah? Okay. The next one is, hey, what can we do with the vehicle history report? So in this case, if the claim meets certain criteria, right? Maybe it has to be, a mechanical claim versus a different contract type. But the idea is if we don't have a current vehicle history report, can we call one of many suppliers, right? Could be Carfax, could be Experian. But the idea is we get that information back and we can immediately build a score around that. And we're looking for things like branded titles. Was there a change in ownership since the contract started? Were there any collisions that we want to put in front of the adjuster to say, hey, you might want to have a look at this? And then we set the score accordingly. And then, again, because our agentic workflows feed into each other, once we score this vehicle history report, the idea is that this is now an input to the claim score. Okay? All right, if you go next, Ted. Image analysis. For those of you that are collecting videos or images, here's an example. Everything in this gray box is returned from the model. So what we're looking for is, can our model determine what we're looking at? Is there any failure determined from that image? And then we're also looking at some of the table stakes at this point, right? Was this image generated by AI? Has this image ever been used by another claim, right? But we're also making some recommendations, right? If this was, say, a tire and wheel claim or a collision claim. On a tire and wheel claim, if somebody put a tire gauge in this tire, we want to be able to read the tire depth, the tread depth, because there's language in the contracts that say, hey, if the tread depth is below 430 seconds, we're not, this tire is end of life, right? So it doesn't qualify. So it's those kind of decisions that can be made just by simply scanning a photograph. Okay. And if you go to the next one, I'll try to speed up here, Ted.
Got it.
Failure analysis is an interesting one. You can slice this many different ways, but the idea is if you wanted to look at, what types of failures are you getting on, could be by loss code, could be by causal part, but the idea is, where is your heat map based on, what type of contract or OEM warranty policy. You can look at this information and pull some insights from that. Okay. I think that's the last one, Ted. Thank you.
It is. So we want to ensure there's some time for questions here. You can type those in, or Pam, have you enabled verbal conversation, or is it typing only?
Anyone, please just open up your camera and ask a question.
And you might have to unmute too.
Hi, it's Jennifer Jones Wheeler. I typed some in the chat. You might have saw them already. I was just curious, as you were going about this project, were the benefits exactly what you originally asked for? Or were there any surprises and advantages, or were there some objectives that weren't able to be met?
Yeah, I would say that there were some surprises, and they were positive surprises. I think that we didn't really know that we wanted to go down the route of the notification agent the way that we did, because we were working with our admin platform to develop a similar capability, but we had been working with them for months on it. So after we brought in circuitry and we're going through the setup, we talked a little bit about what we were doing with our administration system, and they offered up that the agent, that the notification agent could likely build that very quickly. And again, it was within, I say 3 weeks, it was probably less than that. So there were definitely benefits that we received that we weren't even thinking about when we first looked at the program. I don't think, from my perspective, I don't recall any expectation that we had that's been missed. Now, after we go through and adjudicate 100,000 claims, with circuitry, I might have a different answer to that. But as of today,
Sure.
everything that we were expecting is being delivered, and we're getting more than we expected.
Thank you.
Sure.
Excellent question. Keep them coming. Thanks.
Ted, did you see there's a question about how circuitry.ai is actually used on top of the existing warranty admin system, which I believe is provided by PCMI?
Would you like to address that, Josh?
Is there any, I'm sorry, Ted, is there any, what,
Let me speak to it from my
Sure.
view, Ted, if you're okay
Okay.
with that. And it's,
Yeah,
we still have the warranty admin system that we launched back in 2017. So we still use it today. We're still, very integrated with our admin system. It continues to do everything that we've wanted to do. And as I mentioned, we actually use a little bit more of it now because of circuitry. Circuitry is really a very interesting add-on where the agents essentially live side by side with the admin platform. And through the integration, we can push and pull data. It can essentially see what's on the screen and then present things like, the scoring is really, really amazing. One of the things that we use heavily on our admin platform is pop-up notes, and that's to advise our claim adjuster if there's any special considerations that they need to have when adjudicating a contract. Circuitry ingests all those pop-up notes and it incorporates that into its scoring model. So if we put in there, for example, that a shop is supposed to use a particular labor guide, it picks that up and it will make sure that the adjuster is using the proper labor guide for it.
Excellent question. And thanks, Pam. I missed that.
Are there any specific requirements that the existing admin system has to have in order to be able to interact with circuitry.ai?
I feel
Go
like
ahead,
we handled
Josh.
that one. Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, that's the short answer is that a lot of the admin systems that we work with have what we call an API or an interface that we can talk to it with. But we don't need any changes in the admin system to work. If those APIs aren't available, we also have other ways to talk to the application. But the idea is, it's great to be able to train on historical claims. So if a backup of your warranty system is available, that's a very simple way for us to get that historical information. Our goal and objective is not to tie up your IT teams or, your technical teams on having to do a lot of work to make this decision intelligence layer function. The idea is that we can study the existing admin system and find creative ways to train against the information that we need and then provide those answers. For instance, with the current solution at Cars Protection Plus, we show that warranty claim actually in the browser itself. So their warranty admin system works without any modification. We're just showing that that claim score down the right-hand side. There are some deeper integrations that we can always talk about in future phases, but our objective is always to limit that cost to change, if you know what I mean, right? With a lot of solutions, you have to adopt the system, you have to build these kind of things to make it work, but that's not a requirement for circuitry.ai.
Thanks a lot for the
Thank you.
elaboration. Thanks.
Yep.
What other questions do we have? Because I know I've been a few out there. So from what I hear from OEMs and what I hear from vehicle service contract providers, they're very private with their data. They don't want to share. I mean, how does that work out there, Josh? I mean, how are things kept separate, private, secure? How does that go?
Absolutely. Let's start with the data, and the data is 100% yours, right? We will train on it, but the idea is that the data is yours, and the decisions are yours. Our system is independently audited, and has several security certifications. We're SOC 2 compliant, GDPR compliant, and CCPA compliant. Your data is isolated, meaning that it's never commingled, right? We have lots of customers in the same line of business, and I think you can all agree that would be a disaster. But the idea is that your solution is on a scalable private enterprise cloud. So when you see things or you hear things about AI, we're not just loading it to ChatGPT. We're not just loading it to Claude. Those aren't the solutions that we're looking at. These are private models that are only trained on your information. Okay, and then we're continuously being audited and validated by a third-party solution to ensure that we meet those security certifications. Okay, and if you want more information about that, we do have a trust center that we can send out after the call. Okay.
Excellent. What about pricing in this realm? I mean, is this a certain amount a month, or is it by decision, AI decision? And maybe we and everybody doesn't exactly know what that means. How many decisions have to happen on a claim, yada, yada. How is it typically priced, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the commercial and operational model is very simple. It's on a per claim basis. That way, for smaller customers that may be processing a few thousand claims a month, right? It scales accordingly. If you are a company that's going to process 100,000 claims a month, then it scales according with your business. So it's around that per claim, right? When you think about AI and you talk about tokens and all of these credits going back and forth, and the idea is, how do you price that? We are incredibly transparent with our pricing. So yeah, I'll let you talk to Ted more about that. I'm not in sales, but it's a model that we use when we were building admin warranty systems as well, is that it makes sense. If there's a cost per claim, it's very easy to calculate ROI. And that's a lot of our approach, is we want to make this affordable and approachable to all of our customers.
I've heard from, and this is for Josh, I've heard from some OEMs, there are specific state laws for 8 or 10 states out there, and it's about labor time, and it's about retail rate, as it's called out there. How can we assist OE, or how can circuitry assist with OEMs in that regard?
Yeah, absolutely. So an opportunity there for our OEM partners is that if we ingest and train on those legal requirements, the idea is that we can make those adjustments within our agent and immediately switch from what should be the suggested MSRP from your price book. Again, I'm talking to the OEMs on the call, because you have a price book, you have published SRTs, but in certain states, it looks like this legislation is some of it's moved forward, some of it's moving forward. But the idea is, if the repair center, the shop, the service partner submits a claim to you in certain states, it's going to be what they say the labor rate is. So we can make those adjustments on a state by state kind of policy, and that would be in the agent itself. So it's just a matter of understanding what those, I'm not going to call them rules, because we don't have a rules engine in our system, right? But it's based on that intelligence on what we train the model with. Okay, so we'd simply be loading those statewide rules. Okay.
Excellent point, and thank you for that, Josh.
Hi, Ted.
Pam,
Looks like we have
No,
a
go ahead.
question. Sorry, I just wanted to know, we do have a new question in the chat from Chris. He wanted to ask, has the system been implemented in other industries outside of automotive?
Yes, that's a great question. We do have some medical device customers. We have some customers in they're heavy equipment manufacturers, right? Ag, construction, like I said, medical device, and consumer durables. So there's some opportunities in those 4 spaces. So.
Excellent question, Chris. Sorry, I missed that.
Yep.
What other questions are out there? I know some people are wondering some stuff, and don't be shy about it.
Okay.
How long does it typically take for a decision to be made?
So like a claim score, right? Our objective, we always have kind of internal objectives, right? To take a claim score. So I showed just a quick little brief, web-based intake form. So we're always shooting for less than 4 to 7 minutes on that. For a claim to be scored, right, we're under the 60-second mark because we're always racing against another activity. By the time the adjuster opens it, right, we always want to present that score to them. Same thing with an adjustment, right? Should be under that amount of time. So 30 seconds on average. And then of course payments and the resolution is pretty quick because we've already ingested that invoice at the end of the life cycle of the claim, and then we route that through the payment. So we're always kind of racing against that human that could be in the loop. If you think of that funnel, if we were automating every step along the way, right, then there is no human in the loop. But on all the exceptions where we exited the left-hand side of that funnel, we need to be ready for the next human operation. So we're always trying to beat them to that. Does it make sense? So they're fairly quick when you think about trying to do an adjustment on a claim manually. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 18, I think 18 minutes, depending on your line of business, could be an average. If we can do that in seconds versus minutes, it's quite an increase in performance, optimization for sure. Does that answer your question? I'm sorry. I can get
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I'm not sure if you covered it already, but
Sure.
Was the primary purpose efficiency, or and I guess that would be efficiency, speed, or
Accuracy.
is there an accuracy?
Yes. So when you think about what we're looking at and the gains that we've seen, it's kind of a blend. If we can look at the two, and Lance may have different input on this, but when we look at what are we developing and what are we bringing from production or bringing into production, we're always looking at optimizations, right, through automation and accuracy. We always want to know that we're sharing information, sharing a claim score that if it was independently audited by a human being, the results would be the same, right? And it's not that the adjuster had a bad day and I might be a little bit more lenient. I might be a little bit more rigid. The idea is that the things that run through our agents are accurate, right? And they don't deviate from your OEM policy or your contract. Sorry, I talked over you, Ted.
Jennifer,
go ahead, Josh.
Jennifer,
Lance, go ahead.
Sure. From CAR's perspective, quite honestly, I will take either one of those. Certainly my initial intent was on accuracy, but we have so much volume and our volume is picking up so dramatically. If it could help me only with speed instead of accuracy, I would consider that also an acceptable outcome. But I value accuracy more than I do speed. The reality is they do go hand in hand.
Yeah, I just know often speed is not enough to justify cost.
Right. I completely agree. Look, none of my ROI is modeled on, headcount reduction, although I'm certain that I will probably add fewer people than I would have to without the platform, but I'm certainly not going to reduce headcount. Our whole modeling was I wanted us to get better at being accurate, answering the questions correctly the first time, and that will bring efficiency down the road as well.
Yeah, because you can also add like customer satisfaction if you have a backlog of decisions that haven't been made.
Yeah.
Then it isn't really about how fast it is to make a decision, but if you can't handle the peaks and valleys of demand, you're dissatisfying your customers.
Yeah. I shouldn't overlook customer satisfaction. It's just something that we have to measure that together with your teams. But the idea is if you can submit a claim, right, either using our voice agent over the phone or you upload an RO and we build the claim for you and pre-score it for you. The idea is if you could get a ruling back on that claim, you get your authorization email within minutes. How would that affect your customer satisfaction levels? And sometimes that's easy to measure. Sometimes it's hard to measure, depending on the line of business. But as a customer, that's how I would appreciate it, right? I just submitted my claim, and before I got my coffee, I have my authorization back in. Certainly, if you're a service center with a vehicle up a lift, that's a pretty good experience, right? Then I can just continue on with getting the parts I need and getting the repair out the door. So,
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm going to jump in. I see we're at time here. I wanted to thank Lance LaCoe for being on board here and going through his experiences, and Josh Russell, thank you so much for being here and taking us through this, what this looks like. And everybody that attended, thank you so much.